let me tell you about an organization that needs your help year-round. Jeremiah Program is breaking the cycle of poverty 2 generations at a time by empowering single moms to pursue college degrees while their children receive high-quality early education. And your gift provides critical support that makes success possible. So go on over to jeremiahprogram.org/Austin to give today and learn how you can be part of the movement to disrupt generational poverty. Again, that's jeremiahprogram.org/Austin. Today on CityCast Austin is the Friday News Roundup. So we are here to dig into a few of the stories that caught our attention this week, like a former UT professor found in Jeffrey Epstein's files and the effort to stop the new convention center from being built. Plus, as a treat, we are sharing some of your stories about what it's like to look for love in Austin these days. Plus, of course, our weekend picks. It's Friday, February 13th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I'm here with our senior account executive, Dan Weinstock. What's up, Dan? Welcome back.
Hi, Nikki. Happy to be here.
And we are here with our executive producer, Eva Ruth Moravec. Of course, what is up, Eva Ruth?
Hello, hello.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Dan.
I'm so excited. It's a long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
It is.
Oh, shoot, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Even better. I totally forgot. Before we get into today's show, I've got some really exciting news for y'all. Tomorrow and every Saturday from here on out, you're going to see a little something extra in your podcast feed. CityCast is launching a new show, and it's called Your City Could Be Better, because let's be real, Austin could be better. Our CityCast CEO, David Plotz, is sitting down every week with different hosts and producers from the CityCast network, and even I will be on the show sometimes. And David and the guests will talk about the things our cities are trying as we grow and change, and what cities are doing right and what they're doing wrong, and the weird things we're trying and the surprising successes. Some hot topics that we're likely going to cover: gentrification, how Austin addresses homelessness, and how the state government is always up in our business. We're going to cover it all, and we're going to learn from each other and make our cities better in the process. We hear from listeners that you love the special episodes we do with all CityCast hosts, and this is a way to bring you more of that. We're building a network of passionate locals who care about their cities, and we know we have a lot we can learn from each other. The first episode is already out now on YouTube and in your City Could Be Better podcast feed, or you can just check back here on CityCast Austin tomorrow. We'll be dropping the latest episode in this feed every Saturday, so check out Your City Could Be Better and let us know what you think. Okay, I'm going to start with something that we saw that y'all, it gives me the ick. It's important to talk about, but it gives me the ick. The 3 million pages that the Department of Justice recently released from Jeffrey Epstein files continue to make headlines, especially right here in Austin. You know, last week we told y'all about a couple of locals whose names were found in the files, Elon Musk and Peter Attia. But this week, the student newspaper at UT, the Daily Texan, broke some big news about a former UT professor who was in the files. Former UT Classics professor Thomas K. Hubbard requested over $10,000 from the Jeffrey Epstein Foundation to fund a campus rape policy conference.
This is not The Onion. I feel like we have to say that.
Oh my God, yes! That is actually a perfect way to start this, because when I read it, I was like, he can't be for real. This can't be for real.
It's just so obvious.
Yeah. So, okay. He requested the money for a conference held in April 2016 named Theorizing Consent, Educational and Legal Perspective on Campus Rape. And attendance at this conference was required for the students in Hubbard's class that is called The Mythology of Rape. So he sent the request for funds 7 years after Epstein had already pled guilty in 2008 to solicitation of prostitution with a minor,
which would have caused him to be a registered sex offender.
Now, when asked about this for this particular article, Hubbard says, quote, "I was not then and am not now aware of any evidence that Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile in the technical sense. His sexual preference..." Hell, it gets worse. It gets
Sorry.
so much much worse. His sexual preference appears to have been for young women aged 16 to 22, which would at most reflect partial ephebophilia. And I looked up ephebophilia, and it is the adult sexual attraction towards post-pubescent adolescents, usually between 15 and 19 years old. So still not adults.
Yes. It's always the guys that have strong thoughts about what the age of consent should be. It's always those guys. Yeah.
Look, you can put as many fancy words as you want to, bro. It's still teenagers. So he goes on to basically say he doesn't believe what's being said about Epstein. But another thing that he says that I think is just a perfect snapshot of who this man is. He says, like over 1 million Americans, he did have a conviction for a sex-related offense. But from what I could see in 2015, it was for something that would not even have been illegal in most European countries and resulted in a very short sentence. Given his brush with the law, I believed his foundation might have been interested in furthering critical discussions of the contours of consent and rape, but they weren't. I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah.
This guy would love Roman Polanski.
I know. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think that this man was going to be like, yeah. Here's $10,000 for you to
Let me put
argue.
my foundation name on that.
Let me put my foundation name on your argument about rape and children. I can't stop thinking about this. So this dude, Hubbard, has a long history of shenanigery at UT. He taught there for 33 years. Here's the crazy part of this. Students have been complaining about this man and his teaching for years. In 2009, a dean suggested early retirement because somebody complained that he confronted them about giving him a negative evaluation.
Ooh.
When the dean was like, maybe you should retire, bro, he countered with saying, like, no, I want a centennial professorship. And that would come with an accompanying endowment, used at his discretion, a $10,000 raise, and a salary of $250,000 per year through 2012. And then he was like, then I'll think about retiring. So
I need to try this negotiation tactic. Like when I get in trouble at work, I'm like, actually, I want a raise and a promotion. How's
Right.
that?
I want a raise and a promotion.
And also just like ask anyone for money because who cares anymore? Like when in doubt, just ask for more.
Right.
Just ask for more. He got denied, but he still ended up getting the centennial professorship and the endowment and used that money for this conference that he asked Epstein to help fund. In July 2021, after suing three students for libel because they campaigned to get him fired for his teachings on rape, UT paid him a $700,000 settlement to retire early and drop all his suits. And he took that money and moved to California.
Is this like failing upwards? Is that where the term comes from?
Yes. He is writing a book about that right now, a memoir.
This seems like it could have been on like Succession or something.
Listen,
like just incompetence is rewarded by six-figure payouts.
Do you know the hubris, like the ego you have to be asked to retire? You're in trouble. You're clearly in trouble. To be asked by your dean to retire and then be like, nah, actually, you should give me more money.
Yeah, I mean,
and a raise.
It's the same kind of hubris that leads you to talk about age of consent and, attraction to minors and stuff like that publicly.
I think it's interesting that he finds a gray area in rape, and decided to like dig into it. Because I do think, there have been stories, like we've all seen stories and how this plays out with like women, at Vanderbilt, right? Where like there's a rape claim and then it starts to unravel and there's so many different elements of those kinds of situations. And like for someone to be like, no, I want to like really live in this gray is like, ooh, you have to be a certain kind of person.
I think it's totally fair to judge people by the weird hills they choose to die on. And this one, Hubbard, is real bad. Yeah.
So Nicole is a philosophy professor and she is going to a conference soon. And I was looking up some of the different types of philosophy that are taught all over the world or all over the US at least. And Yeah, some of them are weird. Like some of it's like the philosophy of ego, the philosophy of, the philosophy of anger, the philosophy of being visible, of visibility. Like there's all of these things that, in the school of philosophy or in academia, they use to create like conversations about, kind of hot button topics. So a part of me is just like, I see like what you're trying or what you maybe think you're trying to, like, if I was to give this man the benefit of the doubt, he is a professor and his job is to question and spark conversation. But this is the question. This is the like you said, Dan, this is the hill. This is
exactly. Hill. I get playing devil's advocate, and this could have been like, a focus of one day of the semester, but this seemed like a real passion of Mr. Hubbard.
But I have to give some credit to the Daily Texan, because I just think they're amazing for breaking this story themselves. Of course, it's like big. It got picked up everywhere. But on X, one of the journalists posted a week ago, I texted Justin Dowd a Stanford Daily tweet about the Epstein files. Within hours, he found a UT story. Today, after many hours of research and reporting, that story is out. Nice. And that was from one of the journalists on the story. And she also posted like a screenshot of their text exchange. She said, "Imagine getting to do this at your student newspaper." And her co-writer said, we could start today. And I'm like, yes, you go.
Oh, man, listen, I love the youths. I love
it. Because 3 million pages, like that's a lot of documents. I started looking through, was like, I'm going to wait until other people find the Austin connections in here, so I don't have to traumatize myself with all this stuff. But like, way to go, UT students.
Yeah. Well, who's to know whose names? What other names are in the file? So maybe you'll hear more about this
Bring
later.
us your other tips so we don't have to go through them ourselves.
Honestly. Hey y'all, it's time to make your voice heard. Austin continues to face significant infrastructure challenges like aging facilities, growing service demands, and affordability pressures. To organize and prioritize, representatives across city departments scored hundreds of individual project requests using criteria like timeliness and readiness, critical need, and efficiency. And then through a structured and collaborative review process, city staff refined this need assessment into their 2026 bond initial draft recommendation list. Y'all, this list totals $700 million. And then on January 21st, that list was submitted to mayor and council. So what does this mean for you? Community members are invited to a series of open house meetings to learn about proposed bond projects and share feedback that will help ensure these investments reflect Austin's most pressing infrastructure needs and community priorities. So RSVP and learn more at austintexas.gov/bond2026. Imagine this, your next podcast recorded in the same studio where you're hearing this right now. That's Trick Hat Workway. Trick Hat is Austin's most hospitality-driven co-working space. And yes, they've got a pro-level podcast studio designed for creators, teams, and businesses who want high-quality recordings without the stress of hunting down space or gear. Just show up, plug in, and hit record. Outside the studio, Trick Hat's got you covered. From private offices to dedicated desks, they offer flexible co-working options to fit any business or entrepreneur's needs. And can we talk about the perks? Freshly brewed coffee from Manana, endless snacks, and crispy Diet Cokes. But what really makes Trick Hat different is the energy. From weekly networking opportunities to community trick chats, it's more than a place to work. It's where Austin comes to connect, create, and have fun doing it. Whether you're producing your next big idea or just need a space that feels good to work in, Trick Hat Workway is waiting for you, where it's always old Austin, new tricks. Visit trickhatworkway.com to learn more today. For those of you who haven't been by the old convention center lately, it is fully demolished. But even so, there's an ongoing effort to stop the construction of the new one. A judge this week ruled against a group that is behind the effort to stop the work. But that group says they're going to keep trying and has now appealed to the Texas Supreme Court. What is going on? Because it's already gone. So what's happening?
It is gone. There is a gaping hole in the 6 blocks downtown where the convention center used to be. But there's this group called Austin United Political Action Committee that's been trying to stop the demolition. They tried to stop the demolition, then they trying to stop the rebuild. Basically, what they're trying to do is have voters vote on whether or not a new convention center should be built. It's estimated to cost like $1.6 billion, which the PAC says is like actually going to be way more than that. But all of that is being funded by tourism taxes and also the convention center's revenues. But still, this political action committee thinks like this money could be spent better in other ways. So they basically were trying to gather signatures on a petition that would have required the city to put it on a ballot to ask voters whether or not they want this convention center. But when this group turned in their petition and their signatures, it was rejected by the city clerk because they were short about 500 signatures. And then there was this legal fight over what was, if the city rightfully rejected the petition or whatever. So then the judge said, yes, the city did reject the petition accurately. And the group is like, wait, Supreme Court, help us. Mayor Kirk Watson has said that the judge's ruling upholding the city clerk's determination was a good win for Austinites and that the convention center will serve as a focal point of our important and thriving tourism industry. And that tourism industry is like going to be challenged pretty quickly here because we are heading into spring festival season, especially South by Southwest. This is the very first one without the Austin Convention Center, and it's going to look very different. They say they have this plan. South by has this plan where like everything is sort of spread throughout downtown. They're calling it a pop-up South by Southwest village with different clubhouses. So we'll see how that works. But it's like also, it's kind of a double-edged sword, in my opinion, because if it does work, then wouldn't that give credence to the thought that maybe we don't need a convention center?
I mean,
I'm pro convention center for 2 reasons. One, it's not taxpayer money, so I think the PAC is a little bit over their skis on it and making an issue where there isn't one. But the second one is that like I'm a big proponent of like a thriving downtown core. I love like a good downtown, and they say that like these conventions bring in such like important revenue early in the week. We're talking like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, nights of the week. That's all people from out of town at conventions, looking for places walking distance from the convention center to spend their money. So, we might patronize these establishments Thursday, Friday over the weekend, but they need that early in the week revenue from the convention center folks.
Well, that's a good point.
It feels like it's a done deal. It is gone. It is gone. What are they going to put there? We're a little bit of a day late and $1 short, but I also think that we are really, really, to Eva Ruth's point, it's about to be proven just what we need. South by Southwest. You know what I mean? Like the Austin Convention Center it has been the epicenter of South by. And if they successfully find a way to circumvent that, they should take that into consideration when they move forward. And maybe it will and maybe it won't, but like, because I think, again, it's a done deal. But but I think that they should definitely pay attention to what happens. Yeah.
I also will say, like on the record, I don't think the old convention center was bad at all.
Right.
And like I've been to other cities' convention centers. Ours was pretty nice. So
it was great.
Yeah. And I went for South by Southwest last year. I was inside and I was like, why tear this down? Like it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and they did say that like the reason why they needed a bigger one was because they're not able to attract events of a certain size and that they had to like let some of these bigger conventions go because there wasn't the space for it. But it's like, why do we have to be everything? Do we have to be a big convention center town too? Can that not be like, who wants to, I mean, don't you want to go to Vegas or New Orleans for a convention?
Sure. San Diego, I always think of Comic-Con, and that's enormous.
And as far as like what we could put there, Nikki, I mean, I don't know. I just see this every time I've gone by. I'm like, look at all that land. Like there's nothing there. Like it could be housing. It could be like a whole neighborhood with a park.
I understand that growth is necessary. I understand that that's a part. I get it. But trying to do all of this growth at the same time, it's like, maybe let's build the infrastructure first, like the roads. Maybe we figure out public transportation first. And then once we have that figured out, then be like, we need a new convention center. Yeah. But it's like the city just feels like it's in this perpetual state of like,
yes,
like turmoil, change. Not turmoil, but change. And
if you're doing so much at once, how many things are you actually doing well?
I also do just love that Austin has this culture of like, we don't like something, so we're going to start a petition and then we're going to put it on the ballot. We're going to gather as many signatures as we can and we're going to force you guys to vote on it because I don't like this thing. So
I don't know why I love it, but I love it.
This is Austin's way. Yeah.
Yes, it's democracy in action, right?
It is. It is. And so we'll see if they get like, I think we're running out the clock for getting something on the May election, but there could be something like on a November ballot if they're able to get this through. But right now it's up to the Texas Supreme Court to sort of say what's going to happen next.
Hey y'all, by now you've probably heard me raving about Window Nation. I've told you about the 1,500 styles and colors, their measuring process for the perfect fit, the lightning quick installation, and the lifetime warranty. But I haven't told you about what others are saying about them. They have over 45,000 five-star reviews. They have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They have a 96% customer satisfaction rating, and Window Nation was recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. With a track record like that, you can be sure you're getting high-quality, affordable windows. And I have to mention, you can get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Plus, Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale is still going on right now. And if that's not enough, if you act now, you can get an extra 10% off for Valentine's Day. So go ahead, schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. We have a little treat for y'all because it is Valentine's Day weekend. We reached out to everybody and asked for dating stories. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all did not disappoint. First of all, I just want to formally apologize for what y'all have been through. Because Jesus Christ.
It's rough out there.
It's rough. It's rough out there. I mean, I knew it, but I did not have any idea until y'all started sending me these stories. We put a couple of them in the newsletter this week, and then we wanted to read a couple of them today. So we're going to get into them because I think this is going to give us a dating snapshot about what it's like in Austin. Let's get into these stories. Even with you first.
All right. This is from an anonymous friend of the pod. I went to an engagement party last month, and even though my friends swore there wouldn't be only couples there, it was literally only couples until about 1 hour in, and then this cute girl walked in solo. She wasn't my type, but she was bubbly and friendly, and the only other person there that wasn't attached. We ended up hanging out off and on for most of the night. Well, the more I spent with her, the more I really started to dig her. So once the party was winding down, I asked if she wanted to go grab a drink. She said she was actually meeting some other friends, but she invited me to come along. So I tag along, we all hang out, and we have what I thought was a really super fun night. Well, she and I exchanged numbers and we made loose plans to hang out sometime the next week. And so I texted her later the next day, thanking her for inviting me. We exchanged a little flirty banter. And then she invited me to a show that night. So I met her there. Again, we had a great time, more flirting, dancing, and this time a nice makeout session at the end of the night. Hey, hey. And then the next day, she texts me and we chat a little bit off and on all day, more flirting, making each other laugh. It was great. So I then propose a proper dinner date. She agrees. We set a date. And she tells me that these next few days are busy for her, so she might not be communicating as much, but she'd definitely see me at dinner. Okay. So fast forward to date night. I show up. I bring flowers. I wait to be sad because I feel like it's the gentlemanly thing to do. And I wait and I wait and wait. And she never showed up. I texted a few times. She never answered. I haven't seen or heard from her since. I've thought about asking my friend about her or asked if she's heard anything about us, but why even bother? The thing that makes me the most mad is that I wasn't even looking to meet anyone. I wasn't even trying, but then who ghosts someone in our year of the Lord 2026?
A lot of people still.
Who does that?
I don't think ghosting has gone out of style.
Man,
apparently
listen.
not.
No, I think it's here to stay, unfortunately.
As someone who was famously ghosted in 2016, it is awful. It's like, it is probably my least favorite. It's like, you can't be bothered. You can't be bothered to send a text. Send me a text and then block me.
Right.
You can't be, right? But I'm like so curious about what happened. I'm like, was it one of those things where she was just like, I'm just having fun for a couple of days and then I never want to see you again? Was she married? Like, I have so many questions.
I think we should replace ghosting with like a ding dong ditch strategy where you just kind of, you're like, just kidding, not interested, just kidding, not interested. And then you just like run away and never speak to them again. Yeah.
I mean, would that be better, honestly?
Yeah, I think it's at least finality, right?
Yeah.
But like, just kidding. Sorry, just kidding. And also, there's nothing worse than being rejected by someone or ghosted by someone when you weren't even
trying.
Like, I wasn't even trying.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's rough, bud. That's, man, thanks for that story. All right, Dan, you're up.
Okay, this was submitted by Meg L. And so this is Toegate 2025, the name of this submission. Met this guy on Field. Should we say what Field is?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. It's a dating app for people that kind of live alternative lifestyles. Take from that what you will. This is...
Yeah, like poly, yeah.
A more alternative scene than your typical Hinges and Tinders. Okay, so I met this guy on Field. We talked for a couple of weeks and then decided to meet. The first half of the date went so well, I agreed to a second location to continue to hang out. He was on Broadway once or twice, but never made it, so he works in theater management. I was definitely getting old theater kid energy, which I should have seen as a beige flag, but didn't. He suggested a karaoke bar. I don't sing or drink, but always down for a side quest. We walk in and there's 5 people there and they all know him. I realize this is his local watering hole. He starts tossing back 5, 6 shots. I ask if he's okay and he says, yeah, I just got a little stage fright before I perform. Perform? I ask. He says, I guess I wasn't totally upfront with you. I like to come here to sing and I thought maybe I could show you my chops. His name is called, he high-fives the DJ, and to his audience of 6 people, proceeded to sing a 10-minute long Meatloaf song. Did he do well? He absolutely did. Did he then, during the instrumental break, decide he'd do a tap dance routine? He absolutely fucking did. Full tap dance number in the middle of the dive bar to his 5 regulars, and they are loving it. He's drenched in sweat after because he's put his whole Broadway heart in it. He came up after breathing heavily and asked what I thought. I tell him, I wasn't expecting that. He says, yeah, it's kind of my thing. Then he says he doesn't feel good and proceeds to throw up on the floor. And you would think that would be my signal to get my shit and leave, but I'm invested now. I'm here for the story. Anyway, he tells me I'm so beautiful, and then he leans in to try and kiss me right after throwing up. I put my whole hand in his face and said, maybe not. Then he takes his shoes off, crosses his legs, and puts his fingers in between his toes to stretch them out because they hurt after all the tap dancing. So now he's sitting in this dive bar barefoot with puke on his breath and in his beard after tap dancing to Meatloaf. Did I hear from him again? I did, but only to let me know that he couldn't see me again because his other partner had gotten pregnant and they had a baby on the way. I had fully decided I was never going to see this guy again, but he did me the honor by letting me down easy first. It was one of the most ridiculous things that's ever happened to me in my whole life. It's personally one of the greatest, first date stories I've ever heard in my life.
Meg, that
in my entire
is
life.
So crazy. He was putting it out there, though. He was putting all his weird right there on display.
I think Broadway missed out on a great talent here.
Do you understand how drunk you have to be to throw up in front of somebody right there on the floor and then be like, "You're so beautiful." Yeah, and then try to kiss with puke in your beard, bro. Oh my God.
The self-awareness is not there, but wow.
After touching your toes,
your
sweaty toes, the whole thing. There's so many beige flags up here, We
can call them red.
I think we can call them red.
The choice of song, that says so much about someone.
And I think we all know what song it was. I bet it was "I Would Do Anything for Love."
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as the first note started playing, I'd be like,
cringe.
I'm out. No, sir. No.
Laid it on a little too thick.
No, it's
Meg
too
was
much.
like,
It's too much.
What am I in for? The tap dancing, though, at that point?
Tap dancing.
That was the most impressive part to me.
And there's not even a lot of room. And I mean, I'm not sure which karaoke venue they were in, but like a lot of like Austin karaoke, those are little rooms.
This is giving me Dirty Six energy.
Let's say something.
Oh, Dirty Six. Mm-hmm.
He said, not only am I going to shoot my shot, but I am going to show you what you're working with. I'm going to show you what you have been blessed with. Tippity tap it. I'm going to tap. I'm going to get it done.
Meg dodged a bullet. Okay.
Listen, yes.
I'm sorry for the baby mama, because you're in for a lifetime of some interesting behavior. This is Austin weird on its display.
On steroids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's on steroids.
You're speechless. You're speechless.
You touching your feet. I'm just everything about it. It's just like I think maybe I'm with Meg. I might not have been able to leave because I would just be like, is this happening?
Yeah, I would have been glued to my seat.
Oh my God. Okay, so our last dating story. This is from Allison M. 6 years ago, I went through the ending of a 15-year marriage. He was awful to me, and the divorce took a toll on me in ways I'm still recovering from. I told myself that I would never do that again. I would remain open to love and relationships, but marriage was off the table. So I moved to Austin and didn't look back. In early 2024, my car broke down and I put out the call on the internet for a mechanic. My friend suggested her mechanic and made a quick online intro. When he showed up to take a look at my car, I thought he was kind of an asshole. He wasn't warm, just abrupt and all about business, but he had my car fixed within a few days. When he came to drop it back off, he'd accidentally dropped a ring wrapped in a handkerchief in my front yard. I didn't realize it until he'd left.
Wow.
And I called him to let him know, and he immediately came back for it. It turns out it was his mom's class ring that he kept on him when he was having a hard time. She passed in his early 20s, and he said it was a way to keep her close. I'd lost my mom at a fairly young age, too, so we ended up chatting about our moms in my front yard for 2 hours. I'd mentioned my mom's favorite plants were succulents. The next day, I came home to a tiny succulent on my doorstep with a note that said something to keep her close. Things started slowly, but eventually he and I became inseparable. I know it sounds hokey, but he has shown me what love really looks like. And now here I am, engaged to a man that couldn't be more perfect for me 6 years after declaring never again.
That's adorable.
Listen.
That's adorable. Wow.
Look.
Oh.
I am a sucker. I am a sucker for a Lifetime movie. Love.
Mm-hmm.
And this is straight out of Lifetime movie. This is like, if
sweet.
It's not dramatic, I don't want it.
I love stories like this where it's just like fate over and over again. Like, it's just so many things that could have prevented this from happening, and it just fell into place. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it.
It does have that kind of like Lifetime movie arc, like
It
you said.
does.
Maybe. Yeah, it does.
It really
It does.
That's very sweet. And
Okay, well.
hold on to your shit that matters to you, though, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, honestly. Why are you just having it around willy-nilly? Put it on your neck. Thank y'all so much. Honestly, thank y'all so much for these dating stories. It's been a treat reading them. It's been a treat listening to them. It's been a treat. Like, Austin is not for the weak. I'll just say that. Like, between Toegate and being ghosted, it's not for the weak. But there's
you can
hope.
find love.
There's hope. There's hope.
Like Allison M.
Like Allison,
Yes.
she found love in her front yard. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So get out into the city, meet new people. Speaking of getting out into the city and meeting new people, what are y'all doing this weekend?
I am super excited. It is Austin Marathon weekend, and there's all kinds of stuff going on all through town. There are companies in town sponsoring parties all over the place. One location that has a lot of stuff going on is Better Half and Holdout Brewing. They're doing like free coffee and fuel and all kinds of stuff both on Saturday and on Sunday. The race is on Sunday. It starts downtown and finishes downtown. There are 30,000 people who run in this race. And it's a lot of locals, but it's a lot of people coming in from out of town too. So It's kind of cool. It's fun. And then there's, of course, because it's Austin, after the race, there's a Finish Line Festival, which is just going on in the middle of downtown. It'll be a lot of fun with music and giveaways and food and drinks. And there's a PR gong, which I'm hoping to hit if I smash a personal record. Hey.
Yes.
Hit the gong,
Thank
hit the
you.
gong.
It's going to be chiming. And then Monday, a lot of people are off for President's Day, us included. And there are Medal Monday parties where you wear your medal from the race and you go to Meanwhile Brewing or Better Half and get discounts. And there's also a bunch of other local businesses with discounts for people who are participating. So we'll have a link in our show notes for all the details on that.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love that it's like, 2-3 days of events, including the Monday. I also love Better Half and Holdout Brewing. I'm just going to shout them out. Great happy hour. Love the burger from Holdout. Yeah.
I love the burger too.
The burger is so good. Dan, what about you?
Okay, so I am actually planning on doing a picnic one of the days this weekend. I think Saturday, the weather's not supposed to be that good, but I wanted to go back to like Pease Park or Zilker or something like that and do a picnic because the weather's starting to turn and get nice and comfortable outside again. So I'm excited about that. And I'm also going to see Murder on the Orient Express at the Zach Theater because I've heard such good things. Yeah.
You have to tell me about that. You have
to. No, it looks really good in the set design and, just the mystery of it all. It looks like a great production. So I'm excited for that. And then I'm actually getting together with some friends Valentine's Day at night, and we're gonna have like a fondue and game night, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, grill some meats as well. Yes, but my friend is actually bringing some cheese back from her family's like farm in Switzerland. Yes, it's like this whole occasion. She brought it back special, and I'm like, how often are you gonna have a fondue night with like this ancestral cheese from Switzerland?
Shit.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's a special occasion. We're just making a big event out of it. Yes.
I mean, I want some ancestral cheese.
I know, seriously.
Yes.
That sounds amazing.
I'm excited.
Okay, so for me, tonight, Till Death Do Us Party is happening at Ani's Day and Night. It's going to be a single speed dating and craft thing between 6 to 8. But then at 8 p.m., one of my favorite bands, Dead Music Capital Band, is going to be playing. And there'll be vendors and food and drinks and a fire. And it's going to be super cute. So that's tonight. And then, DJ Mel tomorrow night, for Valentine's Day, 8 p.m. at 310 is doing his Rock the Casbah Ultimate 80s Dance Party. And if you've never been to a DJ Mel dance party, I cannot recommend it enough. Only go if you're trying to dance. If you're not trying to dance, it's not a place where you can like sit on the sidelines because there ain't no seats, first of all. And then second of all, everyone is dancing. So
Where is it?
It's at 310 at ACL Live.
310.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it starts at 8 p.m. If you're looking for something to do, when I looked last, there were still tickets. So just saying. All right. Sunday is Fat Sunday for people that know about Mardi Gras, give a crap about Mardi Gras. And everyone. East End Ballroom is having a crawfish boil, live music, and New Orleans themed cocktails. And that's from 2 to 6.
I'm RSVPing right now.
Yeah, Fat Sunday Fest, crawfish boil, live music, classic cocktails. The first drop for crawfish is at 2 p.m. And so, stuff like that is first come, first serve. So
right.
East End Ballroom, free crawfish on Sunday, y'all. And that's it. That's it. Those are my plans.
Nice.
Those are great.
Dan, Eva Ruth, thank you so much for rounding out the news with me this week and reading those amazing dating stories. That was so fun. I wish we could do that every episode.
Yeah, agreed.
And before we go, I don't know if you heard this, but we had a Cutie Patootie event last night. And if you weren't there last night, it's okay. You may have missed it, but you can have the opportunity to come to more Cutie Patootie events if you become a CityCast Austin neighbor. We'll shout you out on the pod if you want. We'll talk about businesses you like. All these perks that you can get by becoming a CityCast Austin neighbor. So go to membership.citycast.fm to become a neighbor today. And that is it. Thanks, y'all.
Yay. Have a great weekend.
Bye. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. Our executive producer is Eva Ruth Morvek. Our producers this week are Lizzie Goldsmith and Alyssa Castles. And I'm your host, Nikki Devon. Our CityCast Austin newsletter editor is Kelsey Bradshaw. Music is by Nelson Valente Aguilar of Como Las Movies, with additional music by All the Kimonos and Duke Harrington and Sarah, the instrumentalist, courtesy of epidemicsound.com and 747 and 8 Main from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images. If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends that have a horrible dating story to share with us. Rate the show, leave us a review, and of course, subscribe to our newsletter. We'll be off on Monday, but back Tuesday morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.